Hi, we are back. Queens Talking Reality. I am Elisa,
And I'm Farah.
and we are here today to do a recap of Housewives of Atlanta season 17, episode 3. We're already on episode 3. It's moving fast. So we're going to
Yes.
just jump right into it and chime in. Everybody come on in and chime in, join the conversation.
Yes. So it opens up with K. Michelle in the hospital with her
Mhm.
butt leaking. I was kind of surprised. I didn't know she was still going through issues with her butt because I did watch the documentary with her having issues with, her butt implants and stuff like that. But I didn't know she was still having issues.
I think she's mentioned it a lot. Like, I don't know if it was on her live or something. I feel like I've heard about it a lot where she got it taken out. I guess maybe she's been always doing something, but like you said, I didn't know if it was issues, but I feel like she's gotten stuff removed and she's talked about issues like for a while now.
Yeah. So what do you think of her husband when she was in the hospital? Like she was asking him, "What do you think I'm beautiful?" With K. Michelle, she looks so different. I always thought K. Michelle was pretty, but now she's looking like a Muppet. I don't know. The plastic surgery is too much. Like her face to me looks so different now. She used to make so
Mhm.
much fun of Tamar Braxton, but she's looking a little bit like a Muppet herself. Like it's a lot of plastic surgery in her face. She looks totally different.
Yeah, she definitely does look totally different. I feel like she got a lot of insecurities. Like I think she said it too. Like she always wants to feel beautiful. She keeps asking her husband. He's not doing much of a great job, like kind of like, building her up.
Reassuring
And
her.
yeah, like I just don't feel like, and it seems like she needs validation. I think she has some insecurity issues.
I mean, she did say that she still has insecurities with her butt shot removed, but I don't like the way her face looks. It looks very swollen. It looks like she has her skin when the camera's really close. It looks like I don't know. I don't like her way her boobs look. It looks very hard. It looks very overly done. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just very disappointed with all the plastic surgery. It seems like she stopped doing uh overdoing her butt and is like now she's doing a lot to her face, which is overly done.
I think it's
So,
probably the
she has to
Botox or
go, huh?
something. I think it's like the Botox or something.
Or fillers, whatever it is, it's OD. So now that, she's out of the hospital, she does her glam, and she goes to the nail salon where she meets Cynthia, Portia, and Phaedra. So they have like, a little girls' day. And she goes there, she meets the three other ladies, and she's in the midst of telling them about, what happened to her. But prior to that, she was saying how the women were very supportive.
Yeah.
Shamia came to visit her, or how all the ladies were very supportive and very nice. So
Mm-hmm.
when she gets to the nail salon, she's in the midst of explaining, like, oh, she was on stage and she felt, something like water. And here goes Portia blurting out, oh, a miscarriage.
Yeah.
So K. Michelle at the time laughed it off, and in the background you heard Cynthia say, "Oh, you had your water broke."
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, K. Michelle laughed it off, but in her confessional, she seemed she was very highly upset that Portia said it, and it became a whole
Yeah.
big thing, even social media, about whether or not Portia meant to be shady. Was it wrong? So what is your take on that whole scene about Portia blurting out miscarriage?
I really didn't think it was that serious, and I feel like K. Michelle was doing too much. Like I definitely am on I'm Team Portia with this one because I think K. Michelle did reference that she told her previously. I don't know how far, like how long ago did she tell her that she was having surgery, and why would I attribute? Like, look at like you said, K. Michelle had a lot of stuff done. Like, so if you tell me you're getting surgery, I don't know, it's your ass. I don't know what it is that you're getting surgery on. Like, why am I supposed to think, like, if you told me a week ago and then you in surgery now and then you talking about a leakage or something, I may not tie that together. Like, we all got things going on in our lives. Am I supposed to remember every little detail of your life? Okay, you was in the or you was having surgery. I don't know. K. Michelle's always having surgery. She, like you said, she looks like a totally different person. So I'm sure she's in and out of the hospital a lot, on the table a lot. So if you tell me that you had a leakage or something, I might say, and I don't think Portia didn't say it like in a laughing way. To me, she wasn't like saying it like, oh my God, like making fun of her. I think that she was being like, honestly, like empathetic. The way she said it, she was like, oh my God, did you have a miscarriage? And then K. Michelle act like it was a problem. Oh, you gonna say that in a nail salon? You're talking about butt leakage. You talking about leaking out of your body from your butt. Okay, so to me, that is like you're giving everyone, you're in a safe space with these women because you're talking about something to me that's, a little bit out there. I would never be talking about that I would never tell nobody about, like, she was very, even talking to it in the confessional, like she was just so like open about it. Like, I would never be so open about like things leaking out of my behind, and I'm getting up, I'm at a chair, I'm at an outing. Like, she's comfortable telling her that. So it's like, you're uncomfortable if I guess that, oh my God, was it a miscarriage? To me, I think K. Michelle overreacted and Portia did not mean no harm.
I don't think Portia meant any harm, but Portia should blurted it out. I don't think she meant any harm. I mean, when she said it, I don't think she meant it empathetic. She just said it like, oh, a miscarriage. I think at that point, she should have just let K. Michelle say what she needed to say. She just blurted it out. I don't think she blurted it out in a sympathetic way. It was kind of like, oh, a miscarriage. It was just inappropriate. That's what it was. It was inappropriate because it was K. Michelle's story. Let the woman talk. Portia just talks too damn much and talks before she thinks, doesn't read the room. K. Michelle, again, felt a certain way because people are sensitive to certain things. People are sensitive when it comes to their health and what their illness is. She's already insecure about her behind. Yes, but I think, again, she didn't do it out of malice. It was kind of one of those things like, girl, you had a miscarriage. It was one of those things. And I think K. Michelle was just overly sensitive because, again, she just came from the hospital. So I don't think Portia meant it that way that K. Michelle took it. I don't think she meant it in intent of malice. I think it was more she blurted out where she shouldn't have said anything. Just listen to K. Michelle tell her story. That's what I think.
I agree too. I don't think it was that. I feel like K. Michelle was doing too much. Like, you literally talking about you having a leakage out of your behind and you got a problem with me. I get it. Miscarriage is sensitive, but to me, when you saying you have fluid and then you not telling the story, you don't know. And then even Portia was asking, was blood in it? Oh my God. Like, she wasn't getting to it. It was like, I'm like that too. Sometimes I'm impatient. Like, why was you leaking? What was leaking? Was it blood? What was it? Like, come on, get it out. I'm trying to get it out of you. Cause I'm like that too. Like, come on, let's tie this up. Like, let's get to it. What is wrong with you? So I definitely don't, I definitely, Portia can be a bimbo, but I really don't think she meant any harm, like you said.
Yeah, and again, I never had a miscarriage. I never had leakage in my butt, but I think I would feel more comfortable talking about miscarriage and my butt leaking.
That's what I'm saying. That's net to me. That do not sound good. When she was like, the way she was just so comfortable talking about it in a nail salon, and then she talked about it in the confessional. To me, I was like, that is so embarrassing and it's disgusting. I don't want to visualize that. I'm a very visual person. And then she was very like descriptive. Like, yeah, I got up and then I looked back and it was just a puddle in the sea. Like, I was not feeling that.
Exactly. I'm just thinking like the smell,
the
look, the butt, was there a big hole? Like, I'm just
was the person next to you? Did they say anything? You seeing a big old puddle, and then you must have had a puddle like imprint on your behind. So I'm wondering, like,
if it was a puddle, how big was the hole that the puddle came out of?
Yeah.
And then your husband got to see it. Did you have to wear diapers?
Wait, where was she? She said she was at the Country Music Awards or something, right?
Exactly. But did your husband looking at that hole, like, Is your butt full of dents? Like, it's a
That's what I'm
whole bunch of
saying.
questions.
Yeah, I would want to know what that just did not sound. That's how I was so like, I can't believe she's picking and choosing what is confidential, what she can mention in a safe space, what you can ask in a safe space, and you talking about your behind leaking. That is,
Yeah, I think talking about miscarriage might be a little bit more appropriate than leakage in your butts. Like, a lot of women had miscarriages, but leakage in your butt, I don't know. But again, they're in Atlanta, so who knows? So the next scene was Shamia and her husband. It was a scene about talking about the rum company. And they showed the scene with her husband. He doesn't seem so interested. And him, she had a call with her husband involved. What do you think about Shamia, the rum business, her husband, and him not looking interested? My opinion on that, I don't think he's not interested because in his head, he's thinking this is stupid.
Yeah.
And he is a businessman. Based on the scene that they showed, he was asking valid questions. Shamia doesn't seem like she knows anything about business. And he in his head thinks this is not a good business venture. And he probably doesn't know how to tell Shamia, or she doesn't want to listen. So I think that scene for me, she seems like she wants to branch out into businesses, but they're not profitable businesses. And he knows that. And apparently she just want to be able to say, I own a business that I'm doing something. But I'm like a rum company in a different country. Talk about you want to import peaches. She's just all over the place. At this point, just be a housewife and just leave it at that, or look for something else that's more profitable.
Yeah, I think she's just doing too much right now. But I get it, because I think if I was a housewife, I would not want to be June Cleaver, like in the kitchen and just busting out babies. Like, I would want to be doing something, and I would have my hands. And if my husband had money like that, I probably would be here. I run business here, this, there, my music business. Oh, let me act. And he's funding everything. I probably would be doing a little bit too much too, like, and trying out everything. But she do seem bored. But that's what housewives do. You can play around with money like that. They have it to lose. So I think I'm kind of with her on that, but I still would value, my point in being like a housewife and trying to have these streams of income, I would want it to be a big stream of income. I would not want to waste my time. I would want to have some hope and a dream, but I would value my husband's opinion as a businessman. So it just seems like she's acting like she's not married to a businessman that's like a multi-millionaire.
Exactly.
Like, that's somebody you have that's a built-in mentor in your home. So why, if he's telling you the rum ain't ready to be launched, I'm gonna listen to my man. Like, even though I'm a housewife, I'm not trying to throw away money. I'm gonna play around with businesses, but I'm gonna go into it smart. I'm gonna go into it like aware, and especially if I'm married to a multi-millionaire who has successful businesses. I don't know why she's not valuing his opinion. If he said the rum is not ready to launch, then it's not ready to launch. Why would you fly to Grenada and override what your husband just told you and do your own thing and not value that man's opinion? I would be just like him. He want to probably just keep the peace. And that's very admirable of him, that he's like not even like discouraging her, because had that been another man, he would have put his foot down. Like, this Gerald just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, if that's what you want to do. Like, he's not even discouraging her, and he's probably the one like taking more of a risk because he's putting out the money. So I do kind of like, in a way, like I said, I'm not with that just doing stuff out of boredom and anything, but I kind of get it. I kind of get Gerald. I kind of get like Shamia, but she's just not being smart.
I think with Shamia, she should venture out because she's into dancing. She used to be a former cheerleader. And Shamia, if you're watching, maybe you should think this. Maybe she should open like a dance studio, do something more entertainment. She's into hosting. She used to be a former cheerleader. Like, maybe something like that. Something she's passionate about. She could be the face of a rum business, and then she was thinking about making her butt. Then it's somewhere out of the country. Nobody even knows Shamia in Grenada. Huh?
I forgot about the rum butt. Wait, what was it called? Rum rumpa or something like that?
Something
Rum.
like that. And then who's gonna buy your rum? Nobody even knows you in Grenada. You know, you
Yeah,
gotta market. It's not like people are gonna like, oh, we know Shamia from Atlanta Housewife. Why would anybody want to buy your rum in Grenada?
yeah. I
So
don't.
that didn't make any sense. Like people want to buy rum for you know, like you are the face of it, but nobody knows who you are in Grenada. So I
Yeah,
think with her being in Atlanta, she likes to dance. She's a cheerleader. She was a former cheerleader. Maybe she needs to go into something like that, like one of
hmm
those, you know, like the dance mom kind of world about cheerleading. She likes to dance. She likes to cheer. She should try to go into maybe that type of business. Open up a
yeah.
dance studio
I don't know.
for
I
young
think
girls.
that as a housewife, and I guess, she has like, children, I think that would be something I would venture into eventually when my kids get older. Right now, I would want more of a passive. I think that's what she's looking for, more of a passive income where it's not too much like physical and appearances and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I would take my man's advice if he's a successful businessman, and she's not doing that. So I do get, because I'm all about passive income. I'm not trying to be out here sweating, dealing with all of these customers in my face. Like, not
Yeah,
too much. I do it, but I don't. As I get older, less is more. Work smarter, as they say, not harder.
true. Well, she has this show. So the
Yeah.
next scene was Pinky at her attorney's office filing for bankruptcy. I mean, it's most likely a business a smart business move. So
And what
doesn't
you
mean
think
she's
about her
broke,
not
she
telling
doesn't
her
have any
husband?
money.
What do
Hmm?
you think about her not telling her husband?
That was crazy. Like that part lets me know their marriage is not on the up and up. I could see them
Mm.
probably divorcing in a couple of years on the show. I won't
Why'd you
who
say
know by
that?
2 years. I be predicting these things. So I don't see this marriage lasting, especially being in the forefront on this show. You are on a TV show. The world knows about this before your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you tell the production they filmed it that you're filed for bankruptcy and your husband doesn't even know about this? Like, that's crazy. So he has every right to be upset. And watching the show now, and I thought maybe he's the issue. She might be the issue because we could talk about it later on. But the scene when he's asking for like, "Oh, do you need my help?" He seems like he's willing to help her out, and she's like,
Yeah.
"No, I can handle this on my own."
Yeah. I mean, I would never do that with my husband because, like you said, he's trying to offer his support. And then you're a unit. And that could affect him. There's no way, to me, that could be grounds for divorce, especially if it affects my business and our livelihood, and you're not telling me. So like you said, I would not, if I were him, I would be highly upset. But I do get how she's feeling because I'm the same way. Like if I got myself into a situation, I want to get myself out, and I'm trying to do it in a way where it doesn't harm anyone else. So I want to do it quietly. But when you're married and that could affect him, you have to tell him. Like I wouldn't do it if I'm like, if it affects my husband, absolutely I'm gonna have to tell him.
Yeah. And Joanne said hi, good evening, beautiful ladies, and good vibe said, hello and welcome. That's I don't understand. And if they're married, her filing bankruptcy could affect him too. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I would be that is grounds for divorce. Like that happens in real life. Like finances is like the biggest reason why people get a divorce. So
I don't understand why she would do that and not even talk to him. And how do you know he might not have a different way out of this instead of filing for divorce? Maybe he has something else in mind instead of filing for bankruptcy.
and respect me enough to let me, like you said, like and especially like they say his businesses are successful. I forgot what they said he's doing. Like
He's
I
number
don't know.
6. He owns a chain of something. I don't know what it is. Chain of fast food. I don't know. He
Well,
owns a
he's not
chain of.
going bankrupt, and he's probably making. I'm sure he could be. I don't know what his finances are because people be hiding that. It could be like a disaster behind the scenes, but I would think it's successful. So why wouldn't I would be really offended if my husband were to do that to me, because it's like you don't even respect me enough as a business person to come to me so we can figure this out together. So I would be highly upset if I were him. He took it. Did she ever tell him in the episode? I don't remember. She never
No,
told him.
next episode. And not only that, maybe he didn't want it to be on camera. What about if he's like, okay, you're gonna file for bankruptcy, but this is not something I wanted to be on national TV.
Yeah.
It could be something she could do even off camera or do it after the season. Maybe it's not something he wanted to be on TV.
Yeah. That is grounds for divorce. I would be, because now I don't know what she said, something about a business partner she had. Somebody did this, they did that, millions stole millions. But it's like, to me, it's like that's some bad business. And I think she is embarrassed. And when I was watching Carlos King and Claudia, I just wanted to bring in their opinion, like another opinion. They were saying that one of them, I forgot which one. I don't think it was Claudia. It was the other woman. She was saying that she think that Pinky is just being competitive with her husband because.
Oh, Blue. Yeah, I watched that. I watched their podcast. The other commentators, Blue.
Yeah, what do you think about that opinion? Do you think she's being competitive with her husband as opposed to like being a team?
That. I can see it because they're both in the food business, so they could be competing, and with her telling her husband is a form of failure. So there could be some part of competition between them. So letting him know this is kind of, damn, I'm failing. And you don't know. And deep, you never know. Sometimes in a relationship, there are competition. Her knowing that he is competing with her, he could a little bit be, this could possibly make him, sad to say, a little bit happy. Like, oh yeah, her business is not doing as great as mine. You never know what's going on behind people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, because one time her business was doing better than his. He could be like, yeah, now I'm the breadwinner. I'm the man in this relationship. You never, I'm not saying that is the situation, but sometimes this could stroke his ego a little bit more to where she's like, look, I'm going to wait off and telling this man this because this might make him just a little bit happy.
Yeah.
Maybe and not happy, but make him feel a little bit more of the man. Like,
and
now I'm going to be the provider.
Yeah, that's true. And I might be a little bit like, insecure, like if his business is really successful and it's like you said, and I'm the one that's failing, I probably would be nervous about or insecure, not nervous, but insecure that I'm a failure and he's thriving. I would want to be thriving together as a unit. So it would, but I would still like, that's life. Like you can't not tell me that you're filing for bankruptcy. And then I find out and it's affecting my businesses, my credit and all kind of stuff. I would be highly upset.
Yeah, but the fact that she's not telling, there's a reason why.
Yeah. I think it's all of the reasons that we said.
There's a reason. Why is she not telling? That's the main question. Why is she not telling him?
All of the above, what we just said.
Mm-hmm. So the next scene was K. Michelle, Cynthia, and Pinky at lunch. So again, K. Michelle comes in and they all talk about, she tells them about the situation that happened at the nail salon. She calls Portia a big dingbat.
And put it on social media.
Oh, and then she went on social media and called her, what did she call again? A bimbo.
A bimbo.
So she went on social media and said she's activated. They were wondering who she was talking about. She mentioned it was Portia. And, since she tried to diffuse it and let her know, Portia didn't mean it that way. And I agreed with Cynthia. And, Pinky, I don't know. I mean, one thing I did like and that made me laugh that K. Michelle was questioning Phaedra. Like, what's up with Phaedra? All she does is smile and giggle. Like, what's going on with her?
Yeah.
It's true. I don't know. Did Phaedra say anything? But I don't remember Phaedra saying anything.
I think they're going to get into it next episode or throughout Phaedra and Pinky.
They are?
Because Phaedra is going to say, but I think they was going, you didn't see it on social media?
Well, I know she made a comment about her wedding.
Yeah, but wasn't it this episode? Because I'll be watching some of the clips of the next episode, and Phaedra supposedly mentioned that Pinky eats meat. And, Pinky has her slutty vegan chains and she's vegan. So she was saying, Pinky's saying like that could affect her business. But when I was reading the comments, because I don't remember when Phaedra said it, or maybe it's in the episodes down the line, they were saying that Phaedra didn't say it like that. And she didn't say, and then Pinky made some reference that Phaedra eats dead people. So it seemed like they're going to have some beef.
I don't think Phaedra want to come at Pinky because Phaedra right now, I feel like she doesn't have any reads. Phaedra needs to just get off the show. She's not giving anything.
No, but she did come out on social media saying that she has a golf ball, not a tennis ball head or something like that.
She said that about Pinky?
Yeah.
Why don't
Pinky
you talk
said
about
something?
Phaedra's wigs?
She did say that. She said that Pinky responded to Phaedra by saying like, yeah, you got a golf ball head underneath that wig too.
Yeah, no, Pinky said that about Phaedra.
But she said that in response to what Phaedra said about her having a golf ball head. I mean, a tennis ball head.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Well, she do that hairstyle do kind of look, now that you mention it, yeah. The hairstyle does.
Yeah, but Phaedra
got that one. Gotta give her that one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait and see. So the next scene was Drew in black. Very cringy.
Yeah, I don't get what she see. He looks young. Like he looks, I don't know. I know Drew is kind of like, isn't Drew in her mid-30s or is she almost 40? That guy looked like he could be in his late 20s. He looks young to me, or immature. Maybe it's his conversation. He just comes off like young and dumb.
He doesn't look that young to me. He looks like he's in his 30s and Drew looks like she's in her 40s. Drew's not in her 40s?
Oh, maybe that's what I'm saying. He looks younger than her. And then I think it didn't help much. His conversation was just lacking. Like I would have been so turned off. Like she was like, oh, I want to cry because he had toys for the babies or something, or a gift for her kids. And I was like, okay, that was
like a pretender, a wannabe. He looked
exactly.
I don't know, they look awkward. He came with all the chain. He looked immature.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even know why they had the scene. It was just stupid. I wanted to rewind it, but I wanted to hear what the hell the conversation was about. It was pointless. That was one of those things like, why is it even being shown?
And for him to be sitting on the phone when she was supposed to bring a date, and he sat on the phone the entire time, that is a 122. Like you should have something better to do with your time. If you're not here with me, you should be doing something constructive and not sitting on a phone while I'm handling, where I'm mingling and I'm talking. And if you can't physically be here, I would not want my man to be on the phone. That was just so corny.
Yeah, he looks corny to me.
Yeah, very that corny. Was corny. Absolutely. And it was proven that he is.
Yeah. So the next thing was Angela and her daughter. Again, here's go Angela about the house. Angela needs to give up about trying to flip homes at this point.
I was about to say that.
Another house that looked a mess.
That
she lost $2 million. At this point, she just needs to give it up. I think she needs to go to a different business.
Yeah, and I don't know why she's so stuck on being this. I don't know, and I'm surprised that she's not listening to her husband because she seems to like really value him. Because the way he acts toward her, I would have been checked him a long time ago. So she seems to be like, she values him a lot. So I'm just surprised that he's allowing this and not putting his foot down. Like, listen, you need to figure out something else but I guess it's her money, but still, her money should be like, you ain't going to be squandering away money on my watch.
Yeah, I don't know. She was saying she needs to get a win. Because last year she failed, but this house looked a mess.
What is with these women not listening to their men who are successful and who had business ventures or have business ventures that were successful? Like she is married to come on, an ex-NBA, former NBA player. And I'm sure he put his money into things that, tripled or quadrupled, so, they obviously have money coming in because they living good. So I don't understand why these women are squandering away money like this when you are married to a successful man.
At this point, I think it's boredom. These women are bored and just want to spend money and don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, but they
Honestly,
got husbands. They should be these husbands need to be putting their foot down because they have a say. If the roles were reversed, these men would be squandering away money and the wives wouldn't really be able to say anything. But when you have the women squandering away money and like they're not listening to the man of the house, it's just weird to me that they're letting them watch. They're on their watch, like and these are successful businessmen, and you watching your wife throw away millions of dollars in real estate, and then the other one like playing around with money, going to Grenada after he told her that he doesn't think the rum is ready. Like it's just weird that these women aren't listening to these prominent, successful men that they have. Just weird to me.
Maybe when the men watch the show, then they really realize how they're messing up.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize it until they actually see it.
Yeah.
Maybe now when they watch the show, they be like, "This is the nonsense you're doing behind my back." They may not even realize what's going on until they watch the show.
Yeah, probably.
So,
yeah, but he gotta know. I think like she didn't tell. Angela didn't tell her husband about the house.
that's what I'm saying. A lot of the things they may see, it's already done, but then when they watch the show, they be like, "Oh, this is what you be doing behind my back."
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
So the next scene was Shamia, her sister, with the attorney office, and they were talking with the partners regarding the rum. We spoke about that. I mean,
waste of money and time.
Waste of time. Very unprofessional. She's getting up there, shaking her behind in front of the attorney. Very unprofessional too.
Yeah, and the concept is, I've seen those bottles before that's shaped like an ass and guns or whatever. Like I don't know. It's she needs to come up with something a little bit more.
I don't think this is gonna make. I'm gonna make a profit. I'm like, now you realize you're not gonna make a profit. The whole thing didn't sound promising.
Yeah, I don't know what, and you have Bravo, NBC at your fingertips to get a successful business going, and you go into Grenada like trying to promote liquor there. Like, come on,
and
now.
Nobody knows who you are. Nobody's gonna drink that rum because nobody knows who you are.
Exactly.
You had a better chance trying to sell the rum here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw her doing some commercial for I think it's for Febreze.
She did?
Yeah, she was doing some. Yeah, I saw it on her Instagram. So she's doing that.
But anyway. She got some checks coming in, but I think she got money. If you got money to spend to, get a rum business up off the ground, or maybe she's just the face of the business or something. It's probably somebody else that came up with that stupid idea, and she's just like latching on.
Yeah, I don't think it's her own rum. So the next one was Pinky and her husband. They went on a date. Again, she didn't mention the bankruptcy, which was crazy. She didn't mention that either. And like he said, if you need financial support, he mentioned that, or spiritual support. I really like that he mentioned spiritual support and financial support. The man mentioned both, and she said no.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like I said, I could be like that as a single woman, but not as a married woman. Huh? Oh yeah, and kids.
Kids together.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's just like they obviously need marriage counseling. Once I find out if it's not grounds for divorce, she would absolutely need to do some marriage counseling. So she needs to know like how you are in a partnership and the institution of marriage. You can't hide stuff like that.
What else is she hiding in this case?
Yeah. And in the long run, what else? What else could come up? Like there's no way I would let this, I would be just so, like I said, that's grounds for divorce. And I'm sure it's happened on many of occasions with people that have gotten a divorce.
Terrible. So the next one was Portia and K. Michelle at lunch. So, Portia came in, K. Michelle was honest. She mentioned, the social media comments was about her. She mentioned that she did call her bimbo on social media. Portia was honest and said she didn't have a problem with her, and she appreciated K. Michelle came at her that way. And they kind of like they Portia apologized, and they seemed to be okay with it. It didn't escalate to anything else. I
Yeah.
feel like Portia didn't want anything to escalate with K Michelle.
I think
Portia,
Portia got some hands too. She went back down. So I don't know if it was like, I think she genuinely likes K Michelle and was trying to make it better. I don't think it was because she didn't want no beef with her. I think if it was something legitimate, she probably would like, but I think she really did feel bad about saying that it was a miscarriage, the way K Michelle like approached her. I do believe that Portia did, she does have some respect and wants to maintain a friendship with K Michelle.
well, I think that too. But I think Portia also knows who to come at in a
Yeah,
certain way, and she know K Michelle don't play.
yeah,
So I don't think she would have came crazy at K Michelle. I think
true.
maybe she already know she needs to humble herself when it comes to K Michelle. K Michelle is a star in her own right. She also
Yeah.
has a huge following, so she knows she can't come at K Michelle crazy.
And K Michelle will put hands and feet on chicks.
Exactly, and Portia knows this.
Yeah.
She knows who to come at crazy, and she knows who not to come at crazy.
Yeah.
So I think
True.
she already knows, like with K Michelle, I think they all know, like, we may not have K Michelle, she comes from Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop is is a whole different ball game than,
Yeah.
over there they fight.
Mm-hmm.
So the women in housewives, they kind of do like throwing the drinks and talking
Yeah.
shame. But over there in Love and Hip Hop, when K Michelle's there, they used to let them actually fight.
Yeah.
So everybody's seen K Michelle react.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we seen in the clip too how her and Drew's gonna go at it. It seems like Portia had to hold her back.
Yeah. It do seem
So,
like the old K Michelle about to come out. She's
yeah,
suppressing it, but it's gonna rear its ugly head.
yeah. So that's how this episode ended. It was okay. So far the season is okay. I mean, it's to me it's better than last season because I'm happy that Brit Edie girl left.
Yeah.
It's okay so far this season.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm waiting for some more to like develop. We need
Yeah,
more.
it's fine. I like
I
it
need,
better than last season.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Well, we
That
gotta
was
keep
it.
watching.
Yeah, that's it. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts of Shami and her husband, Pinky and her husband, Portia and K Michelle. Was Portia being shady or was it just K Michelle being overly sensitive? Comment below, like, subscribe, and let us know what you think of this episode. And stay tuned next week for us to recap the episode number 4.
Yes, and don't forget to join us in the live then too. Toodles.
Bye.
Where's the